Hi everyone, my name is Vassar and this is my health behavior change project. So our first step was to choose what behavior we wanted to change, and I wanted to change the amount of exercise that I completed, and I wanted to hit this goal of 150 minutes. Why did I choose this? I've always had a problem with my weight. I've tried exercising in the past and I just couldn't stick to a routine. And I've even ended up having some bad eating habits because of this and went through a very unhealthy period of time. And I don't want to do that, but weight has always been and still is something that I am self-conscious about. And so using exercise to um, regain my confidence is a healthy way to do that. There's also health benefits by reducing the risk of diseases like diabetes and heart disease, as well as it's a great outlet for stress. I'm a very stressful person. School is so stressful, life is stressful, and I'm very anxious as well. And so having this incorporated into my daily routine would be great. Step two was getting my baseline. So I averaged about 110 minutes the week that we recorded our behaviors. So why was this low? It's hard for me to commit to something I find boring, something unfun, something that makes me sweaty and makes it hard for me to breathe. I have a lack of motivation. I don't want to get out of my house or get out of my room to go and do something that I know I'm not going to enjoy. I also am terrible at time management. So if I do have 30 minutes set aside for something, I think of all the things that I can get done in that time. Like, oh, I have an assignment due that night, though. Maybe I should use this time to do that instead of exercise. When researching, I found two articles that I liked. The first one looked at how self-success beliefs were the most likely thing to predict behavior change. And it also looked on the personalization of activities and how that allowed you to continually come back to the behavior that you were trying to change. Additionally, my second resource looked at forming habits and how exercise may not simply be put as a habit, as they're generally thought of as low-level motor responses, but the habit could be the initiation of this. So maybe if I did the same yoga poses for 10 minutes beforehand, that would be the habit. And then I'd get into the habit of going to some type of exercise afterwards. Step three continued was looking at different theories. So I looked at the theory of planned behavior that was listed in our book, and it is defined as the results of our intentions. Our behaviors are the results of our intentions, which are shaped by our attitudes, our subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. So why is change so hard for me according to this theory? My attitude about this is terrible. I don't like it. It's not fun for me. And I don't believe that I can change this. I don't believe that I can make myself like exercise. And so that's why this is so hard for me to carry out and get into a routine for. So step four was actually completing this plan. Is that, as you can see, this is my 2 week recording of the actions that I did. And how many times or how many minutes I've spent and the different days of the week. So my plan was to schedule times into my Google Calendar because I live by that and set goals and create unique routines to help foster the development of a habit. So what have I learned and what challenges did I face? I am terrible at changing my exercise when it's laid out in my schedule and something else comes up. For example, I had a meeting come up during one of the times that I was supposed to exercise, and instead of pushing that back to a better time, I just decided not to exercise at all. It's also really hard for me to stay with something when I'm feeling stressed or I'm feeling sick, and I've been fighting off a cold for about a month, and that's made a few excuses for me that I shouldn't exercise because I have to focus on getting better, or I can't exercise because I have to get this assignment done, and that will make me feel unstressed. It's also hard for me to personalize exercises when I don't generally know how to exercise in the first place. So that's something that when I do continue this behavior change, I will have to look at and decide how to personalize this to me. And again, motivation is always hard for me, and it always has been. Some surprises I found were just the difficulty to put aside 10, 15 30 minutes a day to exercise and how much effort that actually took. I also found myself making lots of excuses and convincing myself that what I needed to do was more important and would be better for me than this exercise. Many of our nursing classes, and specifically our community nursing courses, look at social determinants of health, and these are the things that influence one's health. So I've been privileged to have the ability to get to a gym and to get transportation that can get me there. But I also have some social determinants that make this hard for me to do. Like I don't have a steady income, and my neighborhood isn't safe for me to exercise in. I do plan to continue this behavior. I think it's great. Um, I think that I've learned a lot, and I just need to give myself that extra push to look at different things that I may be able to try to kind of change this and make this better for me. And those are my resources.